Welcome back to the Unfortunate Diehards Podcast. Hashtag number 22, Nikita Zaitsev. Thanks for returning, guys. My name's Evan. I'm a Sens fan. To my left.
Sufjan, Caps fan.
To my right.
Omar, Leafs fan.
Ugh.
We're going to go over some of our teams. There's been some huge trades in the NHL that we're going to go over. Timo Meier's been traded. Orlov from the Capitals has been traded. And more trades that we'll get into later. We're going to do our stat game head-to-head, and maybe we'll be talking more about these players like Timo Meier. He may be scoring in an upcoming game for his new team, so we'll be checking the odds on that on the Betstamp app. Let's hear a little bit more about today's sponsor, Betstamp.
Are you tired of searching through countless sports betting sites to find the best odds and deals? Look no further than Betstamp, the ultimate tool for sports bettors.
Betstamp is your all-in-one platform for sports betting with real-time odds and analysis from top sportsbooks in the industry. With Betstamp, you'll never miss a beat when it comes to finding the best deals and maximizing your winnings.
Betstamp also provides advanced features such as bankroll tracking and betting trends, so you can make informed decisions and stay ahead of the game. And with their user-friendly interface and personalized alerts, you'll always be in control of your bets and never miss out on a winning opportunity.
Betstamp allows you to follow other users to be instantly notified they are tracking their picks. Following winning users in the Betstamp Pick marketplace is a great way to find new bets.
So why wait? Download Betstamp now using the code DIEHARDS and take your betting game to the next level. The odds are ever in your favor.
All right, thank you, Betstamp, for sponsoring today's episode. So what's been up with you guys? We'll go over the past week or so. I know Omar's had a bit of a big week. Sufi's also had a big week with his team getting thumped by Buffalo.
Hey, we beat New York.
This is true.
But most recently being thumped by Buffalo.
Mm-hmm. Hey, we beat New York.
but what's been up with you guys? I know...
Bro, it's been like...
It's been 2 days.
It's been 2 days.
I feel like
Let's
it's
get
been
to the teams.
It's been a busy couple days, no? So what's going on with you guys? We had a ball hockey game yesterday. How'd that go?
We won 10-4.
Sufi did not score, but Omar and I did.
I played defense, and I was a -3, but we won.
Were you actually a -3?
I have no idea.
Oh.
I did remember a couple goals being scored while I was on. So
Evan and I were -2 off the bat, but then we
scored one.
I was on for like 4 goals, so I guess I'd even know. But yeah, it was a fun game. I almost got killed by a short man trying to punch me in the head. I guess he wasn't short. He was short for me.
Short to you.
Yeah, large mustache. Seemed like a decent guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's...
We are now 7-1, in case you guys are wondering, and
I thought it was 6-1.
no, we're 7 because we had that forfeit game.
Online it says 5-1. It hasn't updated.
They're wrong. All right.
All right. Anything else that's been up with you guys?
No, that's all.
Awesome. Well, I'm working the Sens game tonight. Go Sens. We have back-to-back against the Red Wings, so hopefully some points come out of this. But we'll start off with, the team that had the biggest trade last time. So we'll flip to Sufi, whose team has had the biggest trade since the last episode.
Did we trade for Jacob Chicken? Is that what happened?
He's had the biggest sell. His team has the biggest sell. Because they've evidently given up.
They're throwing.
We haven't given up, unfortunately. Otherwise, more people would be gone. But, yeah, I mean, the Orlov thing kind of just made sense because...
What is the Orlov thing, Sufi?
It was Orlov and Hathaway and some other prospect from Minnesota because they got involved again for salary retention. To Boston for Craig Smith. Woo! A first, a second, and then another second? I don't know. There was a bunch of picks. So here's the thing, right? Dmitry Orlov is what, 31, 32? He wanted a 6-year deal. Considering we're trying to get younger and faster, a 6-year deal for a 31-year-old is probably not a good idea. So it makes sense that they traded him, and then it also makes sense that now we are apparently looking to trade for someone like Chychrun. Whether it's him or not, it's not the point. But getting younger and faster is kind of the goal here. And whether we make the playoffs or not, we probably wouldn't do much if we did get in there, but I would still put in my bracket if we did make the playoffs, so the Caps are going to win. But
yeah, every year Sufi sends me a bracket. I don't think there's been one year where the Caps haven't won.
2018.
No, there's been...
2018, that was the first year I did it.
No.
Yes.
No, we used to send brackets to each other every year.
2018 was the year that I did it, and we won. Like, I didn't make the whole bracket, but we won the cup that year. So,
Do you want me to really go into the receipts?
Look.
I bet I could find like 10.
All right,
What?
so
What?
No, every year you send a bracket to me, and the
Yeah.
Caps win every year to you.
yeah, I do. But I did it every year, but in 2018 they actually did win.
No, I know. I'm just saying. you
Oh no,
sent
I
me,
do.
like-
I do it every year. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Anyways,
So anyway, the official details of the trade, like all the details are Orlov and Hathaway to the Bruins in exchange for the Bruins 2023 first round pick, 2025 second round pick, 2024 third round pick, and forward Craig Smith to the Capitals. Now, we know what this kind of means for the Capitals. Yeah, they're still in the hunt for a wild card spot. They're looking to
loosely
get,
hunting.
they're looking to get a bit younger, but this year's kind of what they've made clear is that they're not gonna be buyers and try to add to make the playoffs. They're gonna see if they make it, but also make deals in an attempt to make themselves younger
Yeah.
and fresher for next season. So they're
But that means trading for guys like Chikrin. If that's the only kind of trade that we'd make. If it's like a 24, 25-year-old that has term.
yeah, exactly. So it's not. We like to joke and say it's a give up move, but like in a way, I guess it's kind of right. They're not trying to make moves. I would say to. As buyers to win the cup or to for a final stretch run at the playoffs. So they're making moves in the realization that, hey, look, this is the season we're having, and there's a chance we get in, there's a chance we don't, but we have to look at the long term as well.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, it was kind of a weird season to begin with, right? We had, like, you can fact check this. I've seen it on multiple broadcasts, but it was like 300 plus man games lost to injury, and I think second was Ottawa. I know they're like 100 something, and that's not even to like minor players. Like, we're talking huge guys like Wilson. I guess he actually is big, so but
Batterwin.
Wilson, Backstrom, Carlson. We can't win without Ovechkin. And that. He was gone for Oshie, and then even Orlov was out for a period of time as well.
Honestly, just say anyone on the roster, probably.
Yeah.
Ovechkin at one point was the only player that played every single game, and then he ended up leaving.
So we know what this.
Yeah.
We know what this trade was for the Capitals, but on the other hand, this trade
Thing is, though,
for the
bro,
Bruins.
this is overkill for the Bruins, bro. They have 3 left defensemen that are all like top 4s.
Yeah, but it's like.
Who the heck is going to be there? They're paying Orlov now because Orlov deal now is kind of like O'Reilly's deal in Toronto because it's like they had like the double retention, so he's getting paid like $2 million.
Yep.
Yeah, and then now you have on the left side you have Lindholm, Orlov, and Grzelcyk. All of them could be playing with McAvoy if they wanted to. And then on the other side you have McAvoy, Carlo, and then who's their last defenseman?
Clifton.
Who's also good. That defense is insane. With Allmark in net, and that, like, their forward core, how it is. Garnet Hathaway, by the way.
And Allmark scored a goal. Like, of course, the guy with the best stats also scored a goal.
Did you see that goal, though? It was like 20 feet in the air, bro.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
insane.
It was great.
Hathaway is as Boston a player you can possibly get, and apparently that was his childhood team. So, thing is, I don't think Hathaway would have stayed this year because he was having a really good season for a guy that's on the fourth line consistently. So he's probably looking more in like the 2.53 range, and for a guy that's in our bottom 6, that probably wasn't going to happen with us. So I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to Boston next year. The thing is, Hathaway and Marchand on the same team is going to be the most annoying team in the league.
And Frederick.
And
Yeah.
Frederick. Oh my God.
This essentially makes the Bruins even more impossible to beat.
If this is like their year. If they choke, it's a bad time because all the reason that people were so skeptical of them is because they have so many old players, right? Or which I don't think people realize that they did the whole retooling thing and it's already working for them. Like, they're the 2 old players that they have are their 2 centers, but like everything around them is young and fast, right? And they got rid of the anchor that is Craig Smith and put him on my team. So, but I think that I posted on Twitter and I was like, these 2 games for Craig Smith this weekend were like a tryout for him to like get traded again.
Yeah.
Because any trade with like Arizona or something is pretty much going to be including some sort of cap dump, whether it's him or Eller, it's going to be one of them.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone in like the next however many hours before the deadline. So, anyways, like, I do agree with you. I don't think this is like throwing in the towel on a season where we had everything to give. Like, we're gonna come back next year and hopefully win the lottery and get Bedard, and then we'll be chilling. So.
And how are the Caps doing in general?
I mean, the 2 games since we went 1-1. When we pounded the Rangers, and then we lost in Buffalo. So the good thing is we couldn't score goals at all when Ovechkin was out. Last 2 games, 10 goals, which is good. Before that, though, when we weren't scoring goals, we also weren't letting them in, and then we've let in like 11 goals. But besides the point. So yeah, it's like I think we've come to terms. It's with what's happening, and I'm interested to see what happens at the deadline. I'm also interested to see if Laviolette's going to finally start playing the young guys, but I really do not want to see Irwin and McElrath as a pairing for any longer, or Darcy Kemper is going to have an aneurysm. Like, he was so mad. He like broke his stick on the post after the goal and then like just flung his stick towards the bench. Like, I've never seen someone like a goalie that mad since like, who was it, Patrick Waugh, that just like stormed off the ice and started throwing stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
But if I had them as a parent,
I
I'd
mean,
do the same
Binnington
thing.
always has a few outbursts here and there.
Binnington's outbursts are pointless, though.
Yeah.
Tuukka Rask had a couple.
Tuukka Rask did have a couple.
Well,
yes.
he threw like a crate.
Yeah. Tuukka Rask has had a couple. And Tuukka Rask was one of those who would like
He's a hothead,
make it very known when he's pissed at a player as well on
Yeah.
his team. If a goal goes in and he thinks
Yeah.
it's not his fault, it's a player's fault. His facial expressions and stuff, he would make his body language very obvious that he's pissed at a specific guy.
I think the
Yeah.
problem is Kemper's probably on the fence of like thinking that it's his fault when there was literally a goal yesterday that Kuznetsov literally passed it right to Tage Thompson and he sniped it, and there's nothing Kemper can do in that. Like, that's one of the somehow now best goal scorers in our league.
Yeah.
And he just gets it right in the slot from Kuznetsov. So yeah.
So
It's,
the next,
Well, I was just gonna say, we could talk about our own teams first. So, I'll talk about the Senators. We went 1-1 since the last episode, I believe, but they were also, or no, I guess we played 3 games. Sorry,
Wait, what?
1 and 2.
3 games. No, can't be right.
When do we filmed on Thursday?
Thursday. So
they
we're
played-
Monday.
they wouldn't have played-
Thursday, Friday, and then they played.
They played on Thursday.
I think so.
Okay.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a second half of a back-to-back in Boston against Boston. Oh no, I did talk about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll restart.
Okay.
You don't have to cut this. We got it.
Editing. So I'll talk about the Sens now. We went 1-1. After that Boston game, we'd played Carolina. I think we outshot them by a couple shots. We were getting outshot pretty bad earlier on, but lost 4-0. Big oof.
Goaltending.
Yeah. And then we were in Montreal recently, and my dad was at the game, actually. And they won 5-2. They were getting outshot apparently really bad going into the third. Montreal's up 2-1, but Ottawa stormed back, and all the depth scorers actually got some. I think Batherson got one,
He's a depth
and
now.
Pinto got one, but we had Gauthier score, we had Brassard score. It was a whole like team effort, which was kind of nice. Like, usually if you check the score sheet, it's top 6 on the power play for 3 goals or something. So it was a good contribution and a good 20 minutes to end it off, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Ottawa now has a back-to-back tonight and tomorrow against Detroit, both games at home. So we'll see what happens there. Those are huge 4 points. If Ottawa can get like at least 3, it would be really, really good for the standings to kind of catch up to Detroit and Buffalo, respectively. So, yeah, I mean, I'll have more to talk about afterwards. I didn't get to watch both the games recently, but I'll be watching both the next couple days, and fingers crossed that, the boys can pull through. I was also I was thinking yesterday, I think this could be a hot take, but I think Giroux has been Ottawa's most consistent forward all season. I know Kachuk has the most, and I know Stützle is second and has been really good recently, but I feel like Giroux just has consistently put up points no matter what, where Kachuk was really hot and then kind of like didn't score for like 7-8 games, and then he started doing a bit better, and then Stützle was like solid and then had like a really big outburst in the new year, but Giroux has just been so solid. Like, I could not be more happy.
Well, it's
with
veteran
Giroux.
presence, experience.
That's also weird.
Yeah.
Because his career...
And he scores pretty goals. Like, he has like 5 this year already that are really nice.
It's just like the opposite of his career, though. Like, in his career, he was, like, mad inconsistent in terms of, like, point totals. But then I do agree, like, this year he's been the most consistent for it. Because he had, like, seasons where it was, like, he had 100 points. And then the next year he had 58. And then he went back to 80 and then back down to 60. But for whatever reason, he's having, like, a completely different arc and set on the Sens. Stützle's been streaky, but he's been insane since the new year. Mm-hmm. So
he's top 5 in scoring, I think, or top 10 or something like that.
Ottawa's a weird team because I see it more with any team where if you look at Twitter reactions, it's like when they lose, it's the world is ending, and when they win, it's like they're the best team in the league. It doesn't matter who they're playing. If they lose to Carolina, just as bad a reaction as to anything, and then if they beat a team like the Habs, they're like, oh, we're going to make the playoffs and win the cup.
Yeah, I mean, beating, it just shows you who they can beat, who they can't beat. They can't beat the teams that are ahead of them that much.
It depends on the play style, right?
Yeah.
Like Carolina is a team that's built different. And the East, like in general, there's like, I think I saw this on Instagram. It was like 5 teams. 5 teams have above 640 win percentage, and at least 2 of them won't make it past the first round. And it's like the Leafs, Bruins, Canes, Lightning, Rangers. One of them, 2 of those teams won't even make it past the first round.
Yeah.
So Toronto's one of them, and then.
But I do agree with the Twitter comment, because Ottawa's in such a weird position. I think people are just kind of getting bored. Like, if we lose, like against Boston, second of back to back, we're destined to lose. I literally expected it. I was like, if we win, amazing, but I'm just chalking this up as Boston gets 2 points.
Yeah.
And then people are like, can't believe that we let that game slip away from us, blah, 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 blah. Like,
so you're playing Boston.
You're playing Boston in Boston, back to back. And then we'll be Montreal. People are like, oh, we're only 5 points out or something. It's like, it's so back and forth. I just but that's Twitter. There's not as much consistency.
Yeah, I was telling
so many teams ahead of them, man.
I was telling Sophie that the Sens are 4 points behind Washington with 4 games in hand.
And that's the thing, and what I said to him was that you're not even chasing Washington. You're
not chasing Washington anymore, but it just...
And we're 4 spots out now. There's so many teams.
It just comes to show because Washington is a few points... how many points out are the Capitals now?
We lost to Buffalo, so we're 4 points out.
Yeah, so right now, out of a wild card, Washington is 5 points out. Sorry, second wild card, 3 points out. 3 points out of a wild card right now. So... And Sens are 4 points behind Washington with 4 games in hand. So this is actually a decently close race for Ottawa.
What about
Buffalo?
Well.
Buffalo has 66 points. They're 1 point out. Pittsburgh has the second wild card spot at 67 points.
And how many games in hand does Buffalo have?
Buffalo has 1 game in hand.
Thing is, and that's the thing. Catching us is okay. I don't really.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's your goal to catch Washington.
It's not to say. I'm not saying it to in an attempt to say that they're trying to catch Washington, but I'm trying to say that with 4 games in hand from Washington, they're 4 points behind, and Washington is only 3 points themselves out of the second wild card. So this is not a very far battle for Ottawa themselves. Yeah,
no one's out of it, but the thing is, you got to jump teams. It's not just the points, right?
Yeah,
you could end the season and there's a 6-way tiebreaker at this point.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's making the East is turning out to be very exciting till game 82 of the season.
Well, if you even look at the past 10 games played for a lot of them, Pittsburgh's gone 5-5. Washington's been 3-7. Ottawa's 6-3-1. There's some teams that are and playing themselves down and some on the up.
And right now, if we see back-to-back wins for Ottawa against Detroit, if they come out with 2 in a row kind of thing, if they can do that, then.
Do they leapfrog them then?
They're leapfrogging Washington, yeah, because they're going to be tied with 2 games in hand still.
And we're on a Western road trip now.
Yeah, so
we get Anaheim, which isn't a good thing apparently, because we outshot them by 20 and still lost. Anaheim, and then I think San Jose and someone else. Hopefully Carlson's gone by then, and then we're good. But
yeah,
if I had to make if I could make a bet on it and say who the 2 teams were going to be, I wouldn't put Washington, I wouldn't put Ottawa, I wouldn't put Detroit, and I wouldn't put the Islanders, and I wouldn't put the Penguins. So that leaves
only
Florida, Buffalo.
Florida to make the playoffs. Wow, Sufi.
You
I
know
would
what, you know what,
after this, they wouldn't.
You're
The thing
also
is,
going Buffalo over Pittsburgh.
yeah,
Okay.
the way Buffalo's playing right now, the only thing that's Buffalo, like I think Buffalo's going to make the playoffs. They get swept in the first round because they're goaltending, but
Yeah.
I think they can hold this offensive structure until they get there. The Penguins are a weird team. Like, they're in the same old and slow category as the Caps, but their goaltending is atrocious right now. Like, really, really bad. And Crosby, too, has been, like, slowing down recently, and it's because there's so much weight on his shoulders. Like, he's doing everything to try to get them into the playoffs, but he can only do so much at this age. So I think they'll trail off here in the same fashion that Washington is. The only reason I'm saying Florida is because I think of those teams, they're probably the deepest, at least offensively, and their defense is decent. But the Islanders without Barzal, I don't really see making a push here. So for me, they come out as well. So I think it'll come down to, honestly, the 4 teams left in that race with like 5 games left. I would probably say Buffalo, Florida, Detroit, and Ottawa.
Yeah.
I think that Pens, Caps, Isles are going to be out of that race by 5 games left.
It's not even close. I mean, Ottawa hasn't shown this season yet that they can manage.
It's just
to be
consistency.
consistent. Exactly.
Yeah, that's
it's
the
about
thing.
being consistent. If Ottawa can be consistent from now on until April,
Yeah.
then we're looking at a pretty close race.
You got to hit at least like a 2-to-1 ratio the rest of the way.
Exactly.
If you look at, I think Ottawa's record since December or Christmas or something, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's like 20, like ballpark 23, like 12 and 4 or something. Like since they went like 2 and 13 or whatever it was at the beginning, they have been doing a close to 2-to-1 or getting points in overtime, whatever.
But they can't slow down.
Yeah.
Like there's literally, and like the thing is, Ottawa's Achilles heel is defense, right?
Yeah.
And goaltending. So
But the thing with Ottawa too is that they're not alone in that.
Yeah.
I mean, all these teams, whether you can go from Islanders, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Detroit, Florida, Washington, Ottawa, none of them have been consistent.
Yeah.
All season long. Like, there's no consistency in any of those teams.
But the thing is, Buffalo had one bad stretch.
Yeah.
Other than that, they've been really good. But the thing with Buffalo, the thing with the three teams that I mentioned with Ottawa in that Final Four race, that's different, is that the 3 other teams can score a 5-on-5 consistently, aside from Ottawa. So if they can figure that out,
But Ottawa's power plays sick.
if they can figure that out at least somewhat going into the final 20 here, then they'll have a better chance.
It's just if they can be consistent, it's still a stretch, I think. But if they squeeze in, and my hot take is correct, my division rankings, I get one thing correct, you know.
And then they get the pleasure of playing Boston in the first round.
Yeah, who cares, man? They can get swept. They're still getting swept if they Boston.
Hey, Ottawa is up in the season series right now.
Yeah, but Boston in the playoffs, you ready for that?
Yep.
That was pre-Orlov Hathaway.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, last time the 2 teams met, they did.
Yeah.
They did beat out Boston.
Was it
Yeah.
Boston
And no
as
one
good?
thought...
No, they were not as good. You're nowhere near, but still.
But they were still the higher seed.
They were the higher
Everyone
seed,
was like,
yeah.
oh, Ottawa's going to lose.
No, they were not the higher seed.
They
right?
weren't the higher
No,
seed.
Ottawa got home ice, right? Or am I wrong here?
Right.
2017 was Boston the higher seed?
27. Wait, which?
Regardless,
Who cares?
no one thought Ottawa was going to win.
Yeah.
And then there's the same thing with the Rangers. People were like, here we go. Ottawa's going now.
I think if it was the Rangers they had in the first round, I would actually be like, you know what, that's maybe an upset. But if it's Boston, like
Hey, call it a Columbus story. You never know.
But that's a.
We'll
But
see.
it-
We'll keep an eye on. We'll keep an eye on. I mean, the East is the most interesting division. I mean, conference, and
And the West is McDavid.
yes,
It is interesting, though. Like, people have been saying this for years. Like, these older teams are going to fall off. But this is like the first year where it's actually starting to happen. Like, last year, it was the 8 teams done over with by November. But now it's like Pittsburgh and Washington, probably the 2 oldest teams,
They are the two
are,
worst teams.
are starting to fall. And then, exactly like people said, those 3 teams, Ottawa, Detroit, and Buffalo, with the young talent starting to push. And sure, maybe those 2 teams still make it in Washington, Pittsburgh. It's still possible.
Imagine.
But
After all this.
it's getting close. Like, they're right around the
Yeah.
same sort of area.
I mean, apart from the Atlantic hasn't shifted in a number of years now. Apart from this year, where even this year it's not shifted. Apart from Buffalo's a bit more competitive, so they're fighting for a wild card. But it's still Boston, Toronto, Tampa, in whatever order you put them. the Metro is where we've seen a decent chunk of change. Yeah.
Bro, okay, so here's the thing, right? With Washington and Pittsburgh, this is probably the most important year for them because this is where you see if you can compete at all in the Crosby-Ovechkin era.
Wait, UC isn't. He's in the Central.
For the rest of the last 5 years. We're going to move past that.
That was a good Soros joke.
Yeah, it wasn't good. There's like 5 years left, or like maybe 3 to 4 years left of this era with Crosby-Ovechkin. Maybe less for Crosby, honestly, because injuries and concussions or whatever.
Yeah.
So this is where you have to like assess the situation, retool, come back, and get younger for next year. You can't be the two oldest teams going into next year.
Yeah.
You got to you got to do what Boston did. Surround Ovechkin, Crosby with way younger talent, and go from there.
Yeah.
But they still have the pieces. It's just you can't have guys like Jeff Carter and Lars Eller on your team if you want to compete.
Yes.
With an old team.
This
right?
is true. It's very true.
But yeah, all right. Let's talk about Toronto.
The Leafs.
Do they play?
Yeah, the Leafs have won 3 in a row. So they've played 3 games actually themselves since we recorded last. They played Buffalo, they played Minnesota, and then last night they played Seattle. So they won all 3. So the Buffalo game is where Ryan. The Buffalo game was before.
Yeah, we were
talking about that.
So
So yeah, the Buffalo game. So they played the 2. They won both.
Who they play before?
And it was
Seattle?
two kind of different games. They played Seattle last night and they won 5-1. Before that, they played Minnesota. They won 2-1. So the 2-1 victory against Minnesota, one of those grind-out victories in overtime, very very close and very, I guess, defensive game in a way. So that was a good one to see them pull through on. And then against Seattle last night they just dominated for most of the game. Seattle came out and scored a quick goal. And then Samsonov was great after that. Like, he had a great game. Made some great saves. And Toronto was just on it. Like, first period, they could have been up 5-1 itself in the first period. But yeah, so they've been playing good. There's not much more to say about them.
Samsonov's a weird goalie, bro.
Yeah, apart from the goaltending, it's like the team's gelling.
He's not even that because he's playing great right now. And like the thing is, in the Minnesota game, do you see what happened in like the first minute? Some guy shot it from like center ice and it hit the post.
Oh yeah, okay.
And then they won 2-1. and then he'll have like the bad game against Chicago. Like,
yeah,
it's so weird that he has the stats that he has.
Inconsistent, but yeah.
But he's putting in work.
He's putting in the work, and he's doing well. I mean, I do want to see more. Like, I understand why Keefe is just running with Samsonov right now. Like, he's got to get his games, and he's got to be mentally strong and ready for the playoffs because he's most definitely the starting guy in the playoffs. But I want to see more out of Woll because I actually legitimately think he's a good goaltender.
He has good AHL stats.
He has good AHL stats. He's had good games with the Leafs in the limited exposure he's gotten. I want to see a bit more of him and see what he really has. Like, I feel like this is an NHL ready guy who can come in and take some games.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna need it with Murray being
retired. Yeah. So right now, he's gonna get a game. I think Leafs have a back-to-back this week, so he's gonna get a game against Calgary, I believe. I think it's Edmonton, Calgary. They're on a road trip against. So they have Edmonton Wednesday, Calgary Thursday. So Samsonov probably against Edmonton, and Woll probably plays Calgary.
Samsonov against Edmonton. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Wait, when's that game?
That's on Wednesday.
I gotta see that, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, Toronto-Edmonton is always a fun game.
Is that in Edmonton?
In Edmonton.
Yeah, I'm not watching the Caps Anaheim game then.
Yeah, that's always a fun game. Yeah. So I'm gonna be definitely watching that game because I love watching Toronto-Edmonton, and Toronto generally gets the better of them. So let's see what happens this time around.
I'll come watch that with you.
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool.
We can watch that together.
Sorry, Evan, you're not invited.
Evan, you are also invited.
It's a 10 p.m. game, I probably assume, right? So.
Probably 9 or something. Yeah. It must be 9.
Yeah. Okay. That'll be funny. Campbell, Samsonov.
Yeah, the first matchup between Campbell and the Leafs, and
for first match between McDavid and then like the 15th best player in the league, Matthews.
See, Toronto has not lost to Edmonton in a while, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, there was one. Edmonton won that one game, but like in the last 3-4 years, like they play twice a year. Toronto usually wins both of them. So I'm interested to see what happens this year. Every year it's like, well, what's gonna even in the year where we had the bubble year, where it was the All Canadian division. I don't think Edmonton beat Toronto. And if they did,
I
it was
don't know.
one game.
Maybe it was close.
I think they had 9 games.
Yeah,
with each
because
other.
wait,
Yeah.
did Toronto win that division?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, then it was close because Edmonton just beat up on Montreal and Ottawa.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun game. It's always fun to watch McCabe versus Matthews as well. But anyway, we should probably.
I'm a big Kachuk versus Larkin guy personally.
Oh, is that the head-to-head?
No.
That's a whitewash.
So we
Literally.
should probably get to the next big trade that's happened,
Is that next?
which is Timo Meier, which I guess
Bro, get that up. That's a lot of people.
we got full details. Last night?
Yeah.
Yeah, last night we got the full details. So
Before you say anything, quote from Nick St. Denis, friend of the show. It's probably easier if you tell us who's not in the trade than who is in the trade, because there is a ton of
They
pieces.
swapped
Yes.
AHL teams.
yeah, they literally. So okay, it's gonna be a mouthful, but I guess.
Oh, yeah, because they're all, like, European players.
Yes, I will put this up on the screen for you guys. But
You will?
essentially, we have Timo Meier to the New Jersey Devils. The Sharks retain 50% of his salary, and in addition to Timo Meier, we have Scott Harrington, Santeri Hataka, Timur Ibragimov, Zach Emind, and a 5th-round draft selection for 2024.
Okay.
That's going to New Jersey. And going back to San Jose, Fabian Zetterlund, Andreas Janssen,
Leafs legend.
Nikita Okotiek, Shakir Muhammadulin.
Oh, he's a good player.
Yeah, first round 2023, 2024 conditional first round, and 2024 7th round.
That the guy's name that was long, Muhammadun.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out at some point. We're not announcers. He's the prospect in that trade. That's the big one.
Yeah.
Because he was a first rounder.
So I believe Sufi mentioned yesterday that injuries were a big part to play in why this dropped so late in terms of
Yeah.
details.
Yeah, that was a big thing. I think it might have been Holtz that was in the trade because I think he's injured, which would have been like the bigger prospect. It probably would have been less players involved if that was happened. Regardless, you guys have mentioned to me in the past that about an hour ago that skill players getting traded isn't always a successful thing, right? For me, the reason Timo Meier is different.
It's because you like him a lot.
Sure. But this is it's a different kind of player, right? Like this is a guy that's on pace for 300 hits while also being a straight up shooter, while putting up really good offensive stats and being one of the best defensive wingers in the league. So he's built for playoffs. This is a guy that's built for playoffs. And he brings so much more to the game than just his goal scoring abilities and playmaking abilities that I think that there's not much that can go wrong here. You just gotta find the chemistry on the line, but they have a little bit of time to figure that out, and then come playoff time he's gonna be one of their best players regardless, because individually as a player he brings something to the Devils that they don't have, which is size and skill to go with it, right?
Yeah.
So he fits perfectly.
Like Dougie Hamilton.
Huh?
So they don't have size and skill in a player. Boom.
Size in the
Get him off the podcast.
Size in the form of being able to hit. Dougie Hamilton doesn't really use his body that much.
Yeah.
He uses that long stick.
And also, this is a different position.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just calling it as I heard it.
Because if you on paper, Hughes Meier seems like a dream pairing, right?
Yeah.
Or
whether that works or not.
Heischer and Meier, because they're both from Switzerland.
Yeah, that could work too. The thing is
Sentimental.
They probably
for me,
played together before.
Yeah, for me, Hughes isn't horrible defensively, but I think it gives him a little more freedom too. Someone that's responsible and has the ability to finish too, and it gives you the ability to put Bratt and Heischer together, and then Hughes Meier, or the other way around, put Bratt Hughes because they already have chemistry, and then Meier and Heischer. And the thing is, the supporting players in that would be
Sharangovich,
Palat, Mercer. That's a freaking good top six. And that power play also insane with Dougie Hamilton the way he's playing too.
the big guy with skill.
that's a really freaking good team, and they're also very young and have 35 million of cap space next year. So, if Meier ends up playing well there, he has a friend there in Heischer. I'm assuming they're friends. I don't know. Mm-hmm. They're both from Switzerland.
Cool.
Yeah, nice job, Evan. I wouldn't be surprised if he resigns there. I think they can give him the money that he wants. So.
Yeah, I mean, if he's not just a rental and he goes in and actually stays long term or a decent chunk more.
I don't even think that's bad if it is a rental, bro. Like
it's
what they gave up compared to other teams for other players, like it's a good
trade.
Yeah.
It's a good trade. So obviously this makes the Devils better, and they're clearly loading up to make a run in the playoffs.
It's weird that they just haven't slowed down.
Yeah.
Like they had maybe a 10-game stretch somewhere in November that was they're falling off, and then they've been insane.
Yeah.
And only thing is maybe goaltending is a question mark in the sense that there's lack of experience, but they're both playing well. Or Vanacek's playing well, not Blackwood. So you can go into the playoffs with Vanacek and be okay, maybe he's not experienced or whatever, but honestly, so the rest of the team isn't either. And that's why that Palat signing was very great for them, because he's a little bit older. He's still got skill and can play in that top six, but he has Stanley Cup experience.
Yeah.
Right?
Before our stat game, we're going to go over our picks for this upcoming week, brought to you by Betstamp. So I have a couple for you. I have one team one and one player one. So far 0 for 2, so you can listen to me if you want, but I have made money sports betting, so eventually it's going to work, I promise. So looking at Betstamp, I'm looking at the best odds possible on the app. So on Tuesday, February 28th, I'm looking at the over 6.5. Last time I said over when it was 6.5, bumped up to 7.5 the day of, unfortunately. But as of recent, Columbus has been playing very well and scoring lots of goals. But so has Buffalo, and that's who they're playing in Buffalo. So I could see that being something like a 6-3, 6-4 game, maybe like a 5-2, 5-3 game still, but that would easily clear the over of 6.5. So I'm going to go the over of the Columbus-Buffalo game. Currently it is minus 129 on Pinnacle, but they will be updating when different apps will have their new odds out, so be sure to download the Betstamp app with the code Diehards, and you will help us out, and it'll help you out by getting you the best odds possible to win the most money possible while you are sports betting. And then my player one that I'm going to do is on March 1st. The New Jersey Devils will be playing Colorado in Colorado. That'll probably be Timo Meier's first game as a Devil. And as you've seen recently, big players, once they get traded, Bo Horvat being one, Vladimir Tarasenko being another, in their first games, they always want to prove something. People are going to be feeding them a little bit more. I could easily see Timo Meier getting a power play goal or something. So I'm saying anytime goal scorer, Timo Meier for that game. Omar.
I'm going to go Sophie first. I don't need your phone.
Okay.
Sophie, sorry. What are you looking at?
I'm going to say... We're going to say Kings, Peg. And
Who?
I'm going to choose the Kings. It's in Winnipeg, and Kings look to be the underdog for that game. So I will go for them. But, yeah, I mean, right now it's a plus 118, so anything around that would be insane value because the Kings are playing well. Winnipeg's been kind of shaky lately, so I will go with that. And then for my player pop,
Player pop.
my player pop, I will go. We will go. I'm not doing that again. I was gonna do Horvat again for assist. Not happening again. I will go to the Florida Tampa game, and we'll do a point for Tanner Jeannot.
Oh.
Just to silence the haters on that return. Yeah, let's hope he plays.
And we will get into that trade after our stat game.
So for me, I'm gonna go into the Florida Tampa Bay game. So I have a couple of thoughts on this one. So
Whoa, a couple.
Couple of thoughts. So one thing, using Best Stamp's odds at the moment anyway. Tampa Tampa Bay is at a minus 154 through Betano, so I would do Tampa Bay to win. With the through Betstamp at Betano. And the other thing is I would go the over on this game because I think both teams have been scoring a lot and also letting in a lot lately. Tampa's had a few 10-plus goal games in the last few ones. They had a 6-5 against Buffalo. They had yesterday's or the day before 7-2 against Pittsburgh. They lost.
That's not 10.
Close. 10-ish, yeah. 10-ish. So they had a 6-0 at some point against was it Detroit, Chicago? I don't know. But in the last week or so, they've had some high scoring games. So I'm gonna put the over on that one too. And for my player, I'm gonna tap into the Ottawa Detroit game.
Okay, I thought you were going to say the Leafs game.
The Leafs are playing tonight.
No, I know. I thought you were just going to pick the next one.
So I'm going to tap into the Ottawa Detroit game, and I'm going to go for a point for Giroux.
Nice.
I thought you were going to say Larkin.
I'm thinking personally, this could just be a bonus one. It's 2 huge games for Ottawa against a division rival that they're trying to get past, or tie, I guess. If anyone is going to go crazy, it's Brady Tkachuk. He is, regardless if he scores or not, I think he probably will get at least a couple points over these games. He's going to be hitting. I would be not surprised if he gets in a fight at least one of the games. He's going to be doing everything he can to bring everyone to the fight, and easily see him doing the over on points.
I hope he doesn't fight if they want to win the game.
No, I'm just saying if Ottawa's down like 2 goals or something in the second period, I can totally see him going for Ben Sherratt. What a trade-off.
Oh, God. That's a great take off their worst defenseman.
Yep. All right, well, thank you, Betstamp, for sponsoring this episode. Breaking news on Twitter right now. The Toronto Maple Leafs have made a trade with the Chicago Blackhawks. Sufi?
Yes?
Bring up the trade. Let the people know.
Okay. It is to the Maple Leafs, Jake Mccabe, Sam Lafferty, a conditional 5th-round pick in 2024, and a conditional 5th-round pick in 2025 for a conditional 2025 first, a 2026 second, Joey Anderson, and Pavel Gogolev. 50% retained on Jake McCabe, so he's making $2 million.
Alrighty, we got a fresh new trade for the Maple Leafs. So Kyle Dubas is definitely all in.
Retained $2 million, and he's signed for 3 more years.
What?
Oh.
Yeah. So he's getting 3 times 2. Dang, that's a good trade.
I was gonna say, that's the big right-handed defenseman that's not that old.
He's left.
Oh, he's left?
Yeah.
Oh, I swear someone told me. Anyways.
Yeah, he's a LD, but he can play on the right side apparently.
Yeah, so
Lafferty's I think a right-handed forward. That's the Leafs are doing all they can to get past the first round here. Because if they don't, they're screwed. Dubas is literally like, I'm done here if I don't make it, so let me just get rid of all my assets for the next 3, which is exactly what I said. Thing is now, if they do make it past like the first round, get past the second round, get to the 3rd round, and they lose, then you're like, what exactly do we do now? Because Dubas is probably not going to get fired at that point. And he's just like, damn.
I mean, he's putting them in a position to fight hard in that first round. I mean, this is a top 4 D that they needed.
Bro, forget that. That's a sick part of the trade, obviously. Sam Lafferty in your bottom 6 is at least a player that we know.
Yes. So
now you have Lafferty and Achari in those trades is great work by Dubas.
Yeah, and if O'Reilly shifts down there too, then we have O'Reilly
at forward?
O'Reilly, Lafferty, and Achari in the bottom 6. Potentially, I mean, O'Reilly may not shift down.
I was going to say, because I mean, like, then you have a bottom 6 forward in your top 6.
Your top 6.
Like,
yeah, because then
Yarncroc
or Yarncroc, yeah, exactly, yeah.
So, to me, O'Reilly...
You're so loud. Sufi decided to take out gum right in the middle of the conversation.
O'Reilly is a middle 6 forward to me right now.
Yes.
So regardless, like it gives you like it's not like other teams don't have bottom 6 forwards in their top 6. Like the thing is like Toronto has 4 first liners, so it doesn't really matter. And then Bunting is like borderline a bottom 6 player now. He just plays really well in the top 6.
Yeah.
Regardless, more players that we know that have some sort of name on their team.
Yeah.
Right?
See you, Aston Reese.
So we've done our upgrade. So bottom 6 has seen a couple of upgrades. O'Reilly coming in has helped the top 6 at the moment anyway. And we'll see where it all irons out and where he ends up come playoff time. And we have an addition of a top 4 defenseman, which obviously I think all Leafs fans and all hockey people would tell you that the Leafs have needed for a long time coming.
Where the hell is the cap space coming from?
That's what I was thinking.
Well,
I know Muzzin's
done.
Yeah, so Murray wasn't on LTIR.
Murray was on LTIR.
Is he on LTIR?
Yeah, Murray was on LTIR.
Damn.
So I guess they're riding that till the playoffs.
Or he's just not coming back.
Yeah, chances. So now the only questionable thing we still have is goaltending.
Unfortunately, a big part. This puts you like in striking distance of Tampa minus goaltending.
Yeah,
because the goaltending is significantly better.
Yeah,
but it's possible. This is like honestly,
they're gonna trade for like James Reimer or something.
Yeah. Honestly, at this point, like for me, this is a better team than last year, on paper.
Oh yes,
right?
Yeah. Now I call it. Yeah.
So it could be enough to get them over the hump. Thing is, Tampa also got better. Ish. I mean, they traded everything for him, but they did what Tampa does, and that's trade for a third liner that everyone was like, "Why are you trading your assets for him?"
Yeah.
And then we'll see what happens. He was Jeannot was really good last year, but he had a 19% shooting percentage, and now he has 14 points this year. But apparently to Tampa, he was still worth quite a lot.
And we saw what Nick Paul did last year.
Nick Paul on the Sens, I feel like you even realized this at one point. He just didn't have a scoring touch, but he was big. He was a good skater. He had like really good hands and puck protection. So I mean, putting on a line with like Steven Stamkos instead of like
he's one of the best third line centers.
Chris Tierney,
yeah,
gonna make it better.
The Tampa's third line is really good. It's
Shocker.
Ross Colton, Nick Paul, and then Tanner Jeannot on the right. That is sick.
That's annoying.
And that's like
Go Sens.
And that's after they lose Palat and Gourde, right?
Yeah.
So, or the Gourde they lost a couple years ago, but and then like the thing is their first line is still I think it's Hagel, Point, Kucherov. Second line is Killorn, Stamkos, Cirelli. Like that team is still loaded, and they still honestly have more depth than the Leafs. Right? On defense,
That didn't sound very confident.
Do they?
on defense, it's pretty much the same situation. The one thing that's going for Toronto in that case is that Hedman is playing really not good this year compared to past years. The standard was really high, so any drop off is like foreseen, like he's getting up there in age. But still, the rest of their defense is really good. Like you have Sergachev, Chernak, that Prebix guy has been really good, and then Vasilevsky in that. So honestly, they're kind of close now. Here, we'll see what happens. The big guys got to perform still. That's the thing.
Yeah, the big guys.
There's no room to be quiet.
Yeah,
you got to have Matthews, Marner, Tavares, and Nylander putting up numbers in the playoffs. Otherwise, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, no, this is true.
Right. It still rests on those 4 guys regardless. Dubas has done everything to surround them as best as they can now.
Yeah.
Right? Minus goaltending. But we'll see what happens.
Goaltending is a question still. But yeah, that is what it is. All right, so yeah, big trade. Leafs getting better, no doubt about that, with this trade. With both pieces coming in, Lafferty and McCabe. Yeah, I guess we're good to go on...
Stats game?
On the stats game.
Stat game. All right. So I will be hosting the stat game this week. And I picked something that you could definitely get some, but it's going to be pretty difficult. So I'll give you I'll say 5 strikes. And then maybe you'll be able to do it. Maybe, probably not. We'll see. So what I picked is, as of right now at 1:42 Eastern Time on, what day is it? February 27th, who in the NHL currently has the top 10 best plus minuses?
Oh my god.
So there is a 3-way tie for 9th. So So there is 11 players in this.
The stat
Be smart.
the stat that means nothing.
The stat that means nothing. But I feel like if you think about this
You know what's funny?
in an intelligent way,
I did.
you can do this.
I did a Sporkle, and it had plus minus on it for this year.
Yeah.
I can't remember anything.
I want to say
All the Boston Bruins.
that Ryan O'Reilly is on a minus.
So
One of
Why
the
did
higher
you bring this
minuses.
up?
But what's the stat we're guessing?
The
highest
best plus minuses.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were guessing the worst plus. Sorry. Okay.
No.
If it was worse, it'd be easier. Batherson.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone from mine or your team is on there.
No, there wouldn't be. I mean,
Maybe
And I
Jeannot.
will be pushing you
Jeannot.
for guesses if you are taking too long.
okay. So
Bergeron.
let's start off with the one of Bergeron, Marchand. Let's just do Bergeron.
Bergeron.
Bergeron is number 6 at plus 28.
Okay.
Okay.
Thing with McAvoy and Marchand is that they were injured.
Yes.
Pasternak. I can see Pasternak on there. Bergeron's on there.
Pasternak, let's guess.
He is also tied for 6th.
Okay.
Yeah. Sick.
Okay, that gets the ball.
Let's get one strike out of the way. Let's say McAvoy because we may as well go Bruins.
Sure, McAvoy.
McAvoy is not on the list.
Okay.
He's number 12.
That's crazy. Bro, you missed like 2 months.
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you? So he's number 12 at plus 26.
He was plus 20.
So between 6th and 12th,
Oh,
it's only 2.
Hampus Lindholm.
All right.
He's on there.
Hampus Lindholm.
Hampus Lindholm is number 1 with plus 38.
Let's go.
So what did Bergeron and Pasternak have?
28.
What is it?
Okay.
Let's just name Bruins. Brandon Carlo.
Yeah.
He's tied for 12th.
Oh, get out of here.
That's strike 2. Okay. So we probably shouldn't get Marchand. Guess Marchand. We probably should.
I don't know. We'll save Marchand.
Yeah, let's save Marchand.
Krejci, you could be on there.
Krejci could be on there.
Let's save the Bruins for now.
Okay.
What's another good team? Carolina.
Carolina would be.
Aho. Aho was injured.
Even Rangers could have a couple.
Rangers haven't been as good lately, and they're a lot of power play. So
How about
they're going to be plus.
Vegas have any? How about Mark Stone?
No.
No.
I don't know how many Western Conference
Yeah.
teams will be on here. The only thing I can think of is like Dallas, maybe Robertson, Pavelski.
Yeah, true.
Hintz. I would say let's go Robertson.
Sure, Robertson.
Jason Robertson has a plus 24.
So no.
He should be.
17.
Oh, that's a big drop because 6 tied for 6 where Bergeron and Pasternak, they had 28. So he has 24 and he's 17.
There's mad ties.
Yeah.
Grizzlick. Let's just go Bruins. Krejci.
No.
What
Okay,
is
so
that?
we're at 4 strikes.
He's not even on the top 25.
Okay, we're at 4 strikes.
Grizzlick.
You still want to stick with Bruins?
No. Tampa.
They,
Power play. Yeah. Maybe we go Carolina.
I think Carolina's the next best bet after
What was the
Boston.
teams? Ooh, Devils.
Who on the Devils? I'm not guessing like Hischier and these
I
guys.
could go like maybe not Hamilton. Watch it be Hamilton. Let's go.
No one on the Panthers.
No, bro, really?
No one on.
You're letting too many goals.
Yeah, no one on Panthers.
I think it's Carolina. Let's go.
Do you think Marner?
Maybe. You want to make that your guess? Are we at 4 strikes?
Yeah.
Are we living and dying on the Leafs? Is this us dying in the first round?
Marner has a lot of points, and he's not really on for that many goals against.
And what about power play?
He's on the power play a lot. Every power play, any penalty.
And you know
kills.
what power play means? You don't get a plus.
Yeah, but he's on the power play, but like,
Why did you bring it up?
Oh, crap. If Carlson didn't play on San Jose, I would say him. Because even strength points.
yeah,
McDavid.
yeah. I mean, why wouldn't he be on there? Actually,
I don't think he's on there. Trisaddle's a minus, I'm pretty sure. So, maybe not.
I feel like I'm not gonna guess Josh Settle. That's no.
No.
McDavid-
He's definitely on power play a lot.
McDavid should be a plus, shouldn't he? Up there?
We can.
All right,
throw
I'm
it.
going to push you for an answer, guys.
Okay, why do we say Marner?
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
Marner.
No. Okay, you can free-willingly guess, or I can give you some
Let's
clues.
just guess here. That was a quick fire. Let's go Grizzlick. Well, we're gonna guess one each.
Yeah, fine.
Grizzlick.
He's number 2.
Oh, Grizzlick was on there.
Wow.
Alright. So what do you want to do? Should we go more Boston?
Hall.
No.
Ugh, no.
I don't know.
Marchand.
No, he is in the top 17. He's tied for 17.
Alright. Go Soufs.
Stamkos.
No.
Point.
No.
Aho.
No.
How about McDavid?
No.
Slavin.
I checked McDavid. He's a +9.
Slavin.
No.
Pesci.
No.
Hey, how about... Nah, he
Do you want a hint?
Pavelski.
No. Pavelski's a yes. He's at 5.
Let's go. Hints.
No.
I think we're asking for hints.
Oh, hints? I can give you hints.
Oh, no. Wait, what do we have?
You have number 1, Hampus Lindholm. Number 2, Matt Grizzlick. You have number 5, Joe Pavelski. You have number 6, and another number 6 with Pasternak and Bergeron. And that's it. So you are missing number 2, 4, one of the 6s, 9, 9, and 9.
That's solid, like... Who are some solid, like,
Haskin.
third line guys?
No.
Solid what?
Giordano.
No.
Giordano's actually 17th.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Did we say Matthews?
No.
Matthews?
17.
Tavares?
Nah.
Nylander?
No, Nylander. But nah, he wouldn't be.
Nylander?
No.
Not that high.
Bunting?
Bunting's actually the best +- of any Leaf player.
Was he
Him and Liljegren, 26.
Wow, Liljegren.
26, wow. But they're not... 26 isn't even in top 10.
Tied for 12th.
Oh my god. Is there any more Bruins on this list?
No.
Makar?
Okay, you're done with Boston. They had 4 players.
Makar.
No,
No.
Makar's been injured.
You have... You have 1, 2, 3,
That's
4,
gonna be something.
5 more East players and 1 West player.
Fox.
No.
Any neat Rangers?
Yes.
Panarin?
No.
Spinajed.
No.
Kreider.
No.
The heck? Lindgren?
Yes.
No way.
At number...
What?
tied for 9,
Poor
27.
guy who got destroyed yesterday.
Yeah, bro, you got murdered.
Yeah.
Now you're
That was
missing
awesome. That was a great hit, though.
4
Oh,
players.
Bro, you railed him.
You're missing 4 players from one team in the East.
One team?
Yep. And you're missing 1 guy from a West team.
Devils.
Yep.
Hughes.
Nope.
Heischer.
Yep. Tied for 9th.
Damn it.
He said he sure at one point.
No, he said not
I said
Heischer.
not-
I know,
Yes,
you
he
said...
should,
No,
yeah.
but you said he sure, like the name, and I was like,
Hamilton.
no.
Severson.
No.
Marino.
Nope.
Now Meier now.
Bratt.
Nope.
How many players are on this team?
More than that.
Palat.
Nope.
Sharangovich.
Nope.
Hughes. You already said Hughes.
Yeah.
Hughes?
No.
Who else is there?
At least 3 more people.
Are they defensemen?
2 of them are.
Siegenthaler.
Yep. Tied for 9.
Mercer?
Nope. He's not a defenseman.
No, but you said 2 defensemen.
Yeah.
Who the heck? Bro, Siegenthaler, Hamilton, Marino, Severson. Who are their other 2 defensemen? What the heck? I can't remember. Who's the West? Central?
Mm-hmm.
Winnipeg?
Nope.
Minnesota?
Nope.
Dallas?
Yep.
Lindell?
Yep.
Nice.
Okay.
This is very easy for me.
Yeah, after the hints.
After many guesses.
Yeah. Okay, so we have one more now. Well, one guy in New Jersey. I can't think of
2 guys on New
bottom,
Jersey, 1
or
forward.
I can't think of their bottom 6 forwards. I can't think of their bottom.
Is
2
it even a bottom 6 forward?
It's a middle 6.
Middle 6 forward.
Tatar?
Yep.
No way.
Tied
He's
for
a-
tied
what?
for second plus 36.
Oh.
I forgot he was on that team. That team's insane.
Well, I don't know who's the
Who
defenseman.
the hell's the
then.
defenseman?
I have no idea what the defenseman
Give me
is.
his first letter.
How this? I was going to do a different stat game, but I didn't know if it counted as a stat. I was just going to see who could name more people named Ryan in the NHL.
Graves.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I decided not to go with that because
I forgot he was.
That would have been a fun game, too.
Yeah.
I forgot he was on that. Defense is great.
So yeah, it's only Devils, Boston, Dallas, and then one Ranger.
And it was
So
Lindgren.
barely, if McAvoy and Carlo are +1 the next game and Lindgren's a -1, then it's
I mean,
essentially with ties at 9th.
Lindgren isn't going to be a -1. anytime
6
soon.
Boston players, 4 Devils players, and then 2 Dallas players.
Well, he did pretty well. I did say Grizzlick, and then I didn't say Grizzlick. Lindholm I knew was first. So, you know what? We did well. I did well.
Yeah. Once we were doing the...
Marner. Disgusting.
Hey, he could have been. Where was he?
He wasn't even in the
17.
top. No.
Oh, he wasn't in the
No,
top. Oh,
there,
okay,
there
okay.
was Matthews, Giordano, Liljegren,
Nylander?
Bunting. No.
Damn. A lot of power play points, as I said.
Yeah.
And someone didn't listen.
All right.
Damn.
Well, we can get.
Grizzlick
to...
was my first guess after Marner. Damn.
We should just said it.
Yeah, you said Grizzlick, and then
We thought, well...
he goes Marner.
The fact that it was Lindgren. I knew it was going to be someone like that after we didn't get
Lindgren.
those other two.
Well, we can talk about the last big trade we're going to bring up this episode.
Is it really big?
Tanner or Tyler, according to Omar, Jeannot has been traded
Yeah.
to the Tampa Bay Lightning. So this was I believe, a later trade yesterday.
Yeah.
And it is a huge return for Nashville. It seems like Tampa just wanted that perfect third liner and was willing to give up anything and everything just to get him. So they just kept throwing more things in, and what a nice treat for Barry Trotz to come into. Which is another piece of big news that Dave Poile is going to be retiring, and Barry Trotz is going to be taking over as the GM of the Nashville Predators.
Random.
But
really random.
Poile went out with a bang with the trade that Omar is going to tell you the details of.
So, to the Tampa Bay Lightning is Tanner Jeannot, and to the Nashville Predators is Cal Foote and 5 draft picks. Lightning's first round pick in 2025, which is top 10 protected. Second round pick in 2024, third, fourth, and fifth round picks in 2023. Yeah, that's the trade. So that's 5 draft picks plus
Cal Foote.
Cal Foote.
Calfoot's not good. So
Yeah, so Cal Foote plus 5 draft picks to the Nashville Predators in exchange for third liner Tanner Jeannot.
I mean, you have to think about the other trade that Nashville made too that we haven't talked about at all. Niederreiter to Winnipeg for a second.
What?
Oh, yeah, you didn't even know that.
When did this happen?
Yesterday.
The other day, a couple days ago.
A couple of days ago, yeah.
What? You're lying.
No,
I saw it.
that's such a random person. To
I
bring
read
up, bro.
nothing. I read nothing about it, but I saw it.
It was just. I assume there might be salary retained, but I know it was second round.
So that official trade I'll tell you. So Jets acquire Nino Niederreiter from the Nashville Predators in exchange for a second round pick in 2024.
Okay.
That's a pretty good deal compared to some of these other trades, honestly.
Comparatively, yes. I mean, Niederreiter only got a second, where Jeannot got 18 draft picks. That's like when you're on Chell and you're like trying to put a trade through.
Yeah, you're just like,
Keep
I
adding
need to
draft
have
picks.
this work.
I mean, okay, like I could critique the Lightning, but at the end of the day, Jeannot might be the reason that they beat Toronto. Like it was like Nick
2
Paul
goals
last
in
year.
game 6.
Yeah, game 7.
And then Hagel's come in and ended up on their first line after everyone was like, why the heck are they trading a high pick for him?
Yeah.
So, on face value, it is odd, and everyone, including other NHL GMs, is like, why? But I've stopped asking that question about the Lightning, and just essentially, if this doesn't work, it doesn't really matter because next year they'll be back in the exact same position with this team. Thing is, all the players that they do trade for are young and fast, and they can have them for years to come. So, it is what it is. I'm not gonna be too hard on the Lightning for this, though. It is just interesting that like they're the only team that really uses this philosophy, where everyone else.
Well, they
is
didn't
like,
before. Eisner was just like, here's a conditional 7th. Give me a good player.
Yeah, but Eisman's gone now, right?
Yeah.
So
Brisebois.
yeah, so maybe this is the way you win. And other teams just haven't figured that out.
Just getting the ideal player no matter what the cost is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in this case, it probably wasn't even the cost.
And then being in Florida and not having to pay people as much because
Yeah.
no state tax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which even, like, that's why they have, like, all their star players, and now they have a supporting cast of guys that are getting paid, like, 2 or 3 mil for the next 18 years, and are just, like, the perfect players to fit on that team. Because now their fourth line is, what? Maroon, Belmar, and Perry, which has worked in the playoffs, even if it's not that great of a line. They can just roll 3 lines and then stick them in every now and again. So this is great for Nashville. For Tampa, it is what they wanted, so it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And the Jets for Niederreiter is perfect for them because they need depth scoring.
Yeah.
Hiding a guy that's technically a second liner is more than depth scoring, so
Yeah.
good for them. I would like to see them out on defense a little bit to give Hellebuck a little less tension. Otherwise, he's going to be worn out by playoffs,
Yeah.
which is it's kind of showing now. After that Islanders game where it was like close, 2-1 game, and then he gets the wheels beat off him
Winnipeg's
by...
fallen off a little bit, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the next game he gets his wheels beat off by Colorado. It's going to be tough for him if they continue not having defensemen that are good at defense and just have Morrissey getting a ton of secondary assists. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was also, I believe, Kravstov to the Canucks.
Yeah.
Which I think is an interesting one. Like, they got rid of who recently? Didn't they make another trade?
Yeah, they got rid of Besser.
No.
That was before.
Besser is still there.
Sorry, Horvat.
Horvat.
Yes,
Sorry,
Horvat.
that's Horvat.
Wow, I can't believe I forgot that. And then, so, getting another guy, probably similar-ish to Beauvillier, like a smaller, middle 20s guy with a bit of skill.
He hasn't really done anything.
No, I know, but I feel like in Vancouver,
It's
put him on a
opportunity.
line next to Pettersson, he'll get a couple apples for you.
He was not motivated for a while, considering he asked for a trade like 2 years ago.
And maybe him and, like, Kuzmenko.
Yeah, maybe they know each other.
Yeah.
Same age, Russian.
Yeah.
Are they the same age? I don't know. I
don't
assume
know.
probably around.
Something like that.
Because Kuzmenko's like 23, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Kravtsov's been around for a little bit now, so like 22. Interesting deals. It's going to be... The thing is, it's saving, besides Meier and Horvat, it's saving the really, really, really big trades for Friday. Or whenever March 3rd is Friday.
Yeah.
So we may get we're definitely getting a Chikrin trade. No matter what it is, he's getting traded. Because at this point, it's been like 2 years. He's been out of the lineup for like 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
He's going somewhere.
Yeah.
Which I'm hoping for Arizona, they're not like playing themselves out of getting more value for him. Like other teams are just going to get other players now. Like,
Yeah.
they've given up on him. And now they're just waiting. Maybe now they're going to get a first rounder, Boston's first rounder, and Craig Smith as their best case scenario. You never know. And then you have the 2 old players that are highly skilled, Carlson, Kane, who could still be dealt. You have the goalies in Arizona,
Talbot,
Ovechkin, Backstrom, Oshie. There's still Besser, also there. Like there's a lot of decent players and a lot of really good players that can still get dealt. There's got to be a lot of
and random ones we
though.
might not even heard of, like Tanner Jeannot.
I don't even know. The thing is, Nashville, their exact quote was, Nashville is up for sale. Not the team itself, every single player.
Yeah.
All of them?
Apparently.
Yossi?
Maybe not Yossi. But, I mean, he's a captain.
Saros?
Not the obvious one.
Barry
Evan.
Trotz?
Get out of here. I'm sorry. You can reach for it. But the fact, like, I didn't even know guys like Nylander and Jeannot were even available. So,
Nylander.
Niederreiter.
Nylander, I was like, well, when is he available?
I don't think we're going to see another Duchesne trade. I mean, I hope not.
Yeah.
Considering that's like his perfect location with all the country music. But you never know. There could be other players on the move. Probably, and like obviously guys like Forsberg and stuff are going to stay. Guys with extensions and stuff. Maybe I could definitely see like Matthias Ekholm get dealt.
So today's head-to-head, and I want to compare 2 players that Sufi loves to talk about.
Oh.
But it's a little bit different. Usually I don't pick people from the same team.
No?
So I picked 2 players on the same team, and I want you to tell me who you'd rather have
Eller Mantha.
on your team. So which 2 players...
Either.
So I'm asking essentially, Who's the best winger on the New Jersey Devils as of today? Is it Jesper Bratt or is it Timo Meier?
Timo Meier.
And why?
Because he's better.
Why?
Bro, I think this might be a wash unless you change your mind. I love Jesper Bratt. I don't think he's that far off. This is a very intensely hard choice, but it becomes easier if I just compare their last 2 seasons and with very similar numbers, plus an extra good year for Meier a couple of years before that. If we're just talking like skill-wise, Bratt's more of like a playmaker. Meier is a playmaker mixed with a power forward, mixed with a goal scorer. Creates a ton of chances.
Or did he just score a lot because Erik Karlsson's there?
Karlsson wasn't even playing a lot last year.
No, this year.
Okay.
You said he's having the best year. You know why? Erik Karlsson.
Oh, this is your thing, bro. Get out of here. Anyways.
I'm going to back Erik Karlsson no matter what.
Okay, Karlsson's great, bro. Like, I don't... Meier did the exact same thing last year when Karlsson was injured for the 18th time. Like, I don't think that Meier's a product of Karlsson specifically.
Wrong.
So here's the thing. This is not as much of a wash as I think you're.
I said is extremely close.
No, you didn't.
I literally said that right before.
You said,
Read
I
that.
think
Listen to
it's
the
close.
tape.
You did not say extremely.
I did.
The word extremely was not there.
No, but you
listen
started
to
off
it.
saying
I
that it's going
said
to be a wash unless you change it.
Wash as in like 3-0.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah,
right.
no, but I think Meier just brings more to the game than Bratt does. In terms of as I've said on this podcast before, Bratt.
Well, let's take into consideration Bratt was a 6th round pick. He wasn't supposed to be.
Bratt's okay. What are these, bro? Bratt's an amazing story, and the fact that he's as good as he is, I talk about him more than anyone. So he is right about that. But Meier, in terms of the stat side of it, in terms of points, plus hitting, shots, just power in general, the defensive side of the game, they're both really good at. So it's very close, but I give it to Meier just based off that kind of stuff. I think that the fact that they have both on the same team is amazing for them.
Okay, so here's what I'll say. Points-wise, they're not just close; they're incredibly close. So, just to put it out there, New Jersey for Jesper Bratt, this year so far he has 56 in 59 points, 56 points, 59 games.
Last year he had 76 and 73.
Last year he had 73 points in 76 games for Jesper Bratt.
Oh, so close.
And
so he's the exact same pace.
And the year before that was 30 points in 46. That was the bubble year. Timo Meier, in comparison, this year so far, he's at 52 points in 57 games. Last year, he was at 76 points in 77 games. And then the year before that, in the bubble, 31 points in 54 games. So he played about 10 more games or so, it looks, or 8 more games, and had one more point.
He had a 70-point season before that too, right?
Meier?
Yeah.
No, he had a 66 point in 18-19, but not 70.
In how many games?
78.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically.
Yeah, I guess so. But so they're incredibly close in terms of points.
In terms of points,
they're incredibly close. However, I will also nudge towards Timo Meier because of the physical aspect he brings to the game, his size,
the girth on him,
and the girth on him, his ability to I
didn't expect him to say that.
His ability to...
it's weird when a 45-year-old dad talks about girth.
They know his age now, it's fine.
No, they don't. Just keep saying different numbers.
14.
For anyone who hasn't seen the previous episode, they don't know my age still.
Yeah, 14 is the age of his child.
Yeah, go watch our last episode if you're curious to how old Omar is.
I should have made that one of the titles. I should have made it the title of the episode.
Yeah.
But I'll give it to Timo Meier. I'll give the edge to Timo Meier just for his size.
It's just an edge, bro.
Yeah, it's just an edge.
We're very different players in what they bring to the table, right? But
so I think he brings for example, and I'm saying this all based on the fact that if Leafs were trading for one of these guys right now, I want them to go after Meier. similar stats, but they need something.
What an awful way to go.
No,
if
but
the Leafs...
But the reason I'm saying it is because I guess the reason I'm putting him the reason I'm putting him over Jesper Bratt is because of the physical aspect, the little edge he brings to the game in the bottom six or in the middle six. Sorry.
Do you even watch him play, or you just take him at Sufi?
He's a top six.
Sufi doesn't even know a lot about hockey.
Top six, not bottom six.
First line, they're both first line forwards.
Yeah, so in the edge that he brings to the top six, Leafs don't really have that. They don't have.
Leafs fans always making it about themselves, bro.
Yeah.
Did you?
But that's what I mean.
I snuck in. Sufi doesn't know anything about hockey.
That's what I'm saying. If I wanted, he brings the same production, but an element to the game which is very valuable on top of that. So that's why I give him the edge. But very close, both great.
Yeah, but Karlsson gave him 7 open nets apparently this fall.
Look at the
I
plays.
agree, but bro, he did the same thing last year.
Therefore, he'd be on a slower pace.
But in compare, like Jesper Bratt's playing with some pretty good players this year as well.
Nope.
Yeah, how many open nets did Bratt have from Jack Hughes? Bro?
Jack Hughes has been hurt.
For like the last week.
Yeah. So
Or before that, it was like a week. That's not even an argument, bro. Like,
when it comes to these, I
team.
can't have it's not like comparing two teams that are completely different, in terms of the skill.
They have Karlsson. Devils have like 5 players.
Exactly, that's what I mean. Exactly. So Jesper Bratt has like a lot of help as well. Yeah.
So that's a wash-in argument. I'm considering that a wash-in argument just based off Karlsson on that team.
Yeah.
He's better than all those other guys.
No. Regardless.
Sorry, who has the most even strength points? As a defenseman?
Who do you choose, bro?
Thank you.
Who do you choose? Go ahead.
Well...
You pick Erik Karlsson?
Yeah, Erik Karlsson's my answer. Well... Because I love to be different,
yeah,
I'm going to pick Timo Meier.
Okay. What did you think I was going to say?
I don't know. I thought you were going to go back and forth and be like, I just love them both so much. Oh
I do.
Gosh. No, but you're going to have like a moment.
No. For me, like, it's literally exactly what he said, copying what I said, was...
Yeah.
In terms of production, they're like so close. You have to look at other stuff. And Meier just brings so much else to the game, if I'm talking skill wise in general, like their playmaking ability is probably similar. Meier's a better goal scorer. Meier's stronger on the puck in general, which gives him more ability to create the plays and stuff like that. That's why he averages like 300 shots a season. Compare to Bratt, like he's more of a playmaker, right? And it's going to be interesting to see because I think that those two players together is like a perfect combination. And then you don't even need a good center in the middle between those two, but you have Jack Hughes if they play on the same line. It's going to be very fun to watch the Devils.
Yeah, very much. They're going to be a fun playoff team to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys.
Maybe you should trade for Erik Karlsson.
Maybe.
You have Hamilton and Karlsson.
There'd be a nice Burns Karlsson situation.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, I think like they are incredibly different players. I think Timo Meier just has the size advantage and brings a little bit of extra stuff. But it is interesting because like you're just assuming that Timo Meier is going to come in and be the best winger on the team right away. I think it could take some time, and Bratt will kind of have that maybe for the rest of the season. But assuming or if Meier sticks around, he can definitely play himself into the secure best winger on the team.
That's more of just a chemistry thing, though, right?
Yeah.
Like I think the fact that Meier was as good as he is playing with the players that he was, like, says a lot. So we'll see. Like, I mean, maybe it'll be a shock for him playing with good players.
The best player in the league on San Jose, Erik Karlsson. Right.
Marc-Edouard Vlasic, actually, I was talking about.
All right. Well, yeah.
James Reimer.
Reimer, good last name. Well,
Nice.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in again.
Wife.
We always appreciate your support. Remember to check out Betstamp and use code DieHards when signing up. If you want to... Wait! All right. Lauren, I don't know if you're still listening.
Oh, my God.
We had a comment from a fan.
Did we?
My sister.
Okay.
And she wants us to talk about our thoughts on Jeff Skinner.
Good player. Looks like an elf.
Looks like an elf.
Well, I feel like Jeff Skinner is kind of like an interesting dude. Like he seems quite goofy.
Figure skater.
But yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He was a figure skater growing up, so he has incredible like edges and stuff, and like you'll see him like dance around people sometimes with like a little spin and stuff.
Is that what she finds attractive?
But it is interesting. I feel like he's having back-to-back good seasons, which doesn't usually happen for him. He usually has like 35 goals, then like 20 goals, then 39 goals, then like 19 goals.
And Buffalo was just bad for like 2 years. And then now it's good for 2 years. Maybe he's just doing the same thing.
Maybe.
But I mean, he's playing with Tajay and Tuck.
He's always been this kind of like up and down.
But the thing is, like, with Tage and Tuck on his line, it's going to be hard for him to have a significant drop-off.
Like, I wonder if he had like an injury or something undisclosed those couple seasons where he had
playing with Kyle Okposo.
23 points in 59 games, then 14 points in 53 games. Because he went from 40
points.
goals, 63 points, to almost nothing, to then back to 33 goals, 63 points, and this year, 25 goals, 34 assists for 59 points in 55 games.
The bubble season was not kind to him. 14 points in 53 games. Or
Buffalo in general, to be fair.
Yeah.
But product of environment, I think, in this case.
Yeah, probably.
But mixed with him and just playing better, right? Like, it could also be both things.
He's close to 1,000 games.
Yeah, he played a lot in Carolina.
How old is he? He's 30 and gonna hit 1,000 games. Like
he got
next
the bag
season,
at the right
maybe.
time. That 9 mil bag.
I've never been like some Skinner fan or anything. I never thought he was great.
Oh, don't tell Lauren that.
Omar may not be here next episode.
Yeah. He's a good player.
He's a good player. Yeah, he's a good player. Yeah.
Not the most attractive player on the Buffalo Sabres though. Ukko-Pekka Lehkonen.
Oh, I was thinking Tage.
Nah, Tage is tall, bro.
So she finds him attractive. Is that
She thinks he's funny. Like, did you see the between two lockers?
No.
So Buffalo posted like the between two ferns or whatever by Zach Galifianakis. He did one in two locker rooms or whatever, and interviewed Tuck. It's the goofiest thing I've ever seen, but it was pretty good. And so, quite a personality on the lad, apparently.
So just like Lauren, if you want us to talk about something...
Yeah, if you want us to talk about something, comment down below, whether that's on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and then you can stream us on any of...
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, SiriusXM, and yeah.
Yeah.
I must be forgetting some when I'm saying this.
Probably other things as well.
Yeah.
They don't pay us.
Pretty much everywhere. You can find us pretty much everywhere.
Yeah. And thank you again for tuning in, guys. And we will see you next time.
Bye, guys.